Evening to all, and we are going to talk with you about the motivations. Today topic is motivation. Actually, this all are related to the management topics. Actually, all the topics we are covering here, leaderships and leadership course. Actually, motivation, teamwork, rights, other perceptions. So all are related to decision making, related to the managements. So today our topic is motivations. So when you say motivations, so what's the concept of motivation is. Actually it is motivation refers to the force that may be internal or external to the persons, and that arose the enthusiasm and persistence to pursue the certain course of action. So this is the concept of motivation. Actually, they should have some kind of force. That force, it might be sometime internal or intrinsic force generated within the person, or that force can be coming from the external, from the outside to the person. So that will help to enthusiast, and it will help, or it will impact, or it will influence on some actions. That is called motivation. So motivation is one of main area in the management scenario, because the everything is dependent on the motivations towards the goal, towards the organizational objectives. Whatever the area you are focusing, the motivation should be there. If there is no motivations, the management should focus on how to motivate. So therefore, so knowing about the motivation is one of very importance as a manager, as a controller, or as a boss. It's one of most important area, how to motivate people to achieve their respective goals. If there is motivation, if you do you know motivation well, or how do you know how to motivate them to achieve their goal, it will be very useful. So it is actually a kind of process. This is not just word. Motivation is a process. So if you go with this arrows, it is explaining how that process is there. So normally that normally desired need it will create. So that may be a money, that may be a friendship. Sometime it may be a recognition. So some achievements, right? That desired need is generated to fulfill. Right after that, what happened is that desired need, that need to fulfill, converted into the behavior, right? Behavior. So that behavior mean that people change their way of action, so way of doing some things to achieve that respective desire. That may be money, or maybe friendship, maybe recognitions, whatever thing he want to achieve. uh, he will change their behavior, right? After that, due to this changing of behavior, what will happen is he will fulfill their needs. So he will complete their task, so that after that, actually, he will satisfy their needs, right? Maybe that maybe internally, maybe externally. So after that, he completely satisfied. That may be a mental rewards, that sometime it may be a monetary rewards, or maybe recognition. So whatever the things he will achieve, after that, that process will be ended. What happened is actually that after he fulfilling that particular needs or requirements, that mentality will generate another requirements, so other needs to achieve. Therefore, this is type of continually floating, continually circulating process. So whatever the person, there are numbers of needs are there to fulfill within their life cycle. So it is called process, right? This is one example of the process of motivations. So normally we can identify there are four categories of motives. There are four categories of motives. For that, actually, mainly we can line up the internal forces and the external forces that influence factor. Maybe that forces that influence That power may be come from externally or internally. That is called extrinsic and intrinsic. This line. That impact actually that may be a positive happy results. It will generate happy result, maybe a pleasure or growth, or sometime it will generate pain or fear in the X line. So based on those the forces and the result, or we call it the forces we are coming from internally externally, the result may be positive or negative. So when we line up those, we can find out main four categories of motivations. Actually, we can say actually four type of motivations also, right? Four type of categories of motives, right? So if you take as one example, the forces come in externally, influence come in externally, and it will generate pleasure or happiness, right? Right, pleasure or happiness. So which is called extrinsic positive approaches, extrinsic positive approaches. Otherwise, in other words, we can say it is kind of incentive motivations, right? This one, intensive motivations, is as example rewards such as pay rise, bonus, right? Prizes. These are one of few of example for intensive motivations, right? And or in other word, we can say intrinsic positive approach, right? Intrinsic positive approach, extrinsic positive approach, right? The second one is the power or influence is coming from inside, and it will generate pleasure to the person who involved there, which is called intrinsic positive approach. Intrinsic positive approach help to people enjoy their work and get sense of accomplishments, right? Get sense of accomplishment. As in other word, we can say it is the social motivations, right? It's a social motivation. This one is intrinsic positive approach. We can say is social motivations, right? The third one is the power or influence coming from outside, right? But the result is negative. Result is negative, which is called extrinsic negative approach or threat or punishment. So the top process is coming. So we will threat you to do this, right? Extrinsic negative approach, right? So in other words, we can say power motivations, right? Power motivations. Fourth one is intrinsic negative approach. Intrinsic negative approach. So what is there happening is the forces coming from the internally, and the result is also negative or pain or fear. So which is called fear motivations, right? Fear motivation. What happen is they will tap to anxieties, unhappy with the jobs, like that, right? Intrinsically, internally, they are unhappy with that the jobs, right? That internally, and it will generate fear, which is called fear motivations. These are the main four categories of motives. We generate it using the influence and the result. The influence is coming from externally or internally. Result may be positive or negative, or pleasure or growth or pain or fear. So keep this in mind. What are the main four categories of motives? Extrinsic positive, intrinsic positive, extrinsic negative, intrinsic negative. Or in other words, extrinsic positive and negative, intrinsic positive and negative, right? Keep this in mind. Normally, the content theories, they are to explain the perspectives on motivations. Today, actually, we are going to learn of around 5 to 6 different theories about motivations, right? The content theories, actually, they explain the perspectives on motivation. So normally it is emphasized the needs that motivates that people need. Normally, at any point of the time, people uh, they have a variety of needs. They according to their life cycle, so they are the level of livings. They have variety of need. This need actually they translate into the internal drives to motivates, as I explained earlier, and that actually uh, that motives, so that motivates, they will try to fulfill their requirements, right? That managers, as a managers of the company, they can understand employees what they needs and how they rewards, right? Normally the content theories are the theories they explain the perspectives of the motivations. So we will come to you different type of content theories which are explained about the motivation, how motivation is happening, what are the factors influence on motivation. So this is one of main one, Abraham Maslow, who explained the theory of Maslow, right? It is one of Russian psychologist who explain the how people are motivate to step by step or level by level. According to the Maslow theory, I think you have listened these theories many times in your life's educational career, right? The base one is physiological needs. That's air, water, food, sleep, clothes, and reproduction. That means sex, right? They needs the basic needs they have to fulfill. The Maslow explained after they fulfill that physiological needs, what they do is they jump into the next stage. So they call it as the safety needs, so personal security, employment security, the resources, and the health and property. What they do is firstly they psychological needs they complete. They try to accomplish the next level. After they fulfill the safety needs, what do they do is actually the people they go on for belongingness, so friendship, intimacy, and the family and the sense of connection, like that. So love and belong. And then Maslow explained they go for the esteem, self-esteems. They respect self-esteem, stated recognitions, strength, freedom, like requirements they are going to fulfill. Actually, after that, the Maslow explaining, they go for relaxing. So they relax, right? Which is called self-actualization. Self-actualization, desire to become most of that can be okay, that mean actually they become relaxed and they go for meditations and the donations. They share their the wealth with this which they needed, the needy people, like that self actualization. If you go further with this step, actually the physiological needs, these are kind of basic things as I explained in first slides, right? Foods, sexual needs, shelters, clothingness, and the safety needs. The people they want to control and order their lives, so that's need to that the safety and security contribute large to the behaviors of this level. Normally, financial security, health and wealth, safety against accidents and injuries, and the finding the jobs, obtaining. They are going to obtain health insurance and the health care, and contributing money to savings accounts and moving to the safer neighborhoods. Our example for the safety needs, right? I'm going again that what I explained in the first slide. And the belongingness, that is a kind of social need, as explained by the Maslow hierarchy, which is kind of social need, right? This such as the love, acceptance, and the belongingness. At these levels, they are kind of they want some kind of they need some kind of emotional drive, emotional impact relationship of this human behavior, right? Some of these things actually friendships, the romantic achievements, family, social groups, and the community groups. These are the belongingness. They want to feel they are part of the teams, right? Part of the network. So they want to feel at this stage they have money, they have uh, houses, and they have jobs, and then they want kind of networking and being with the community, right? After that, they expect kind of respect from others, right? They after they jump into the next esteem needs, they are expecting some kind of appreciation, some kind of respect from others. After that, actually, it is in addition to the needs of feelings, they want to accomplishments of prestige, esteem needs. These are the kind of example of the esteem, self-esteem needs, right? The people were expecting at this stage. After that, there is a peak self-actualization, it's a peak of that motivational theory. The what they do is they relax and they calm what man can be, and like that he must be like that. Can be explanation is there. This is this is what the Maslow explained. The Maslow explaining there are main 5 levels: physiological, safety, love and belonging, self-esteem, and the self-actualization. According to the Maslow, what he explained is the people go step by step, step by step. He explained the how that hierarchy is generated. But Maslow said like that the after few years the Maslow theory, one of American psychologist Carlton Fole, who actually he explained, actually he simplifies Maslow's theory using ERG theory of motivations, because the Clayton explained is, he says as Maslow explained, it is not step by step approach. According to the ERG theory, he is explaining it is not step by step as Maslow explained. Maslow is explained, okay, we go with physiological. After that, physiologically complete, he go for safety. After safety complete, he go for social. After social complete, he go for self-esteem. After that, he go for self-actualization. What Carlton explained is, all these needs must satisfied simultaneously in order to motivate that feeling need to generate within the employee. So all these needs must be satisfied simultaneously, parallelly each other. So that is why he's simplified this. He categorized these six what is called levels into three: existence and the relatedness and the growth. Right? What is existence need is, actually it is kind of need of physical well-being, right? Basic survival need, food, shelter, and fuel. He called this existence needs as explained by the Mr. Paul in ERG theory. And then they go for relatedness needs. That is mean that needs for satisfactory relationship with others. That our needs is what he explained is, our needs are depend on others, right? Our needs are depend on others. Our satisfactions are depends on others. Therefore, we need some kind of relative or relationships. So therefore, our happiness are depends on other. Therefore, that need must be fulfilled. That is why that recognition, relationship, network like things come into the scenario. That is why he is explaining our needs are not individually or independently available. It depends on others. So he explains, therefore we need kind of relationships. The third stage in ERG theory is a growth need, that needs that focus on developments of human potentials and the desires for personal growth and increase the competences, right? That means, actually imagine Imagine you have some juniors, some employees who as a manager. So you should have some kind of understanding what is the real growth needs he wants, what are the potential available within that person, then how we can bring into the next stage. So the most important thing we have here is as a manager or as a leader in the corporate or whatever the business. So you should consider all the levels simultaneously, not one by one, not one by one. So these are the few differences between Maslow hierarchy and the ERG theory. But ERG explain is that all the level should what is called satisfied simultaneously. As ERG theory explain, if higher level need isn't satisfied, then what happened is the person who's seeking lower level needs. So that is one of nice point he's mentioned. What this may the difference actually he mentioned. Imagine if one employee who's seeking safety needs, but the management is difficult to satisfy it. Okay, difficult to satisfy the safety needs. What happened is that employee come to the below levels, right? Below levels, and he is seeking to fulfill the physiological needs, right? Physiological needs, he go for lower level, right? He's going for lower level. If higher level need isn't satisfied, then what happened? Person may be regress to seeking lower level need. That are the few differences between Maslow hierarchy and the ERG theory, right? Then actually another scientist from also from America, who so Frederick Herzberg, who generate another theory, which is called two-factor theory. Two-factor theory. So this theory is some spelling mistake is there, right here. So two-factor theory. So what's the American psychologist who explained is actually he's specialized in business management. What actually those days the concept was the scientific theory of management. They were talking about the money is the reasons. Money is the main factor to motivate the people. So the Taylor, so Taylor is the founder of the scientific management, who was explaining that we should give satisfied amount of money to the employee or big amount of money to the employee to satisfied. That means there is a positive correlations between satisfactions and the financial rewards. That is the things Taylor explained. But the Herzberg explains only money cannot be satisfied the employees, right? There are non-financial factors also available to motivate the people. So he find out two factors, right? He find out two factors. One are motivators. That motivators mean factors that directly motivate people to hard working, work hard, motivators. And the other factors is hygiene factors, right? Hygienic factors mean that what are the factors that can demotivate, if not persons, right? If there is no that factor, the uh, people will demotivate. But do not actually motivate employees to work hard, right? What are the demotivative factor? If we can give it, right? Uh, Demotivative, right? This is the two factors. One are called motivators. Other one is hygienic factors, right? These are the motivators, the responsibility, the job satisfactions, recognitions, achievements, growth opportunities, advancements. These are the motivator factors, right? These are the motivator factors. The hygienic factors is working conditions, peer relationships, leadership qualities, job security, compensation, that is status, right? Which are negatively impact on the not if there is no this, right? Imagine no job security, right? No job security. The even high paid jobs, the people will demotivate, right? There is no compensation. Even high paid jobs, they will dissatisfied. Okay, demotivate. These are the two factors, motivators, and the hygiene factor explained by Herzberg. Right. So according to him, actually, motivators motivate by using motivate, ensure hygiene factor, which are myths, right? We have to ensure the hygienic factors, and we have to use motivators to motivate the people into their achievements, right? So normally we call it acquired needs. So that needs we can categorize into three: need for achievements, and need for appellations, and need for power. Right? Need for achievement is means desire to accomplish something difficult, attain high standard of success, and master of complex tasks. And need for appellations, that means desire to form a close personal relationship, avoid conflict, right? Establish warm relationship. And need for power, desire to influence or control others and be responsible for others and have authority over others. These are the quiet needs explained by the Herzberg. So then actually these are the few theories I explained regarding which are called content theories, right? Content theories, uh, which I explained how people are motivated. Maslow theory, right? Second one is ERG theory, simplified versions of Maslow theory, and the third one is Frederick Herzberg explained two-factor theory, which are the factors I explained now. Right, then I would like to explain you some other theories which are called process theories. Previously, I was explaining content theories. Now I am explaining process of perspective and motivations. Right, content. Now we go for process theories. Right, how people select behavioral action to meet their needs and determine whether their choice were successful, right? Or in other words, how people select their behavioral actions to fulfill their needs. So, or process theories. There are three process theories I am explaining here. One is goal setting theory, equity theory, and expectancy theories. These three theories are explaining how this motivations process happening, right? How that process is going on. Uh, in goal setting theory, right? In goal setting theories, that means that explain to achieve to motivate people. So we should create some goals, right? In goal setting theory, I will explain how that goal should be and what are the characteristic of goal settings. Right? Normally, the people they are very happy to challenging uh, targets. Actually, very high, some kind of significant targets they want, or challenging targets they want. Right? This example, final exam is not much challenging for some people, but the goal should be kind of significant and some kind of challenge. This theory actually explained by the Locke and Latham. So manager can increase motivation and enhance performance by setting specific and challenging goal. Specific and challenging goal. The manager should set up specific and challenging goal to motivate the employees, which is explained by goal setting theory. So that goal should be specificity. Actually, goal should be specific, right? The goal should be actually very clear. As example, for the goal specificity, degree to which the goal are concreted and unambiguous, right? That is why I was saying specific. It should be clearly defined. Visits new customers each day, sell thousands worth products per week. Which are very clear, right? Increase sales via merchandising. That's are not clear, right? That are not clear. So therefore, as a manager, if you want to motivate people, you should create a specific uh, task, a specific goal, and clear goal. Right? This is called uh, goal specificity. Right? And then goal difficulties also they are one part. So if we generate kind of hard goals, right? Which is if we generate very hard goals to motivate the people, but it will generate some kind of which is called the employees will demotivate, right? So therefore, the level of the hardiness level or difficulty level should be moderate or middle level. Otherwise, what happen is people will leave the jobs. They will stop achieving their target. So too much easy goals is also not good. Too hard goals also not good. Therefore, we should be in intermediary. So those that there some study shows that employee always needs some kind of difficult goals to be positive and feeling job satisfaction and success. That study says they want some kind of difficult goal, but it's not be a very difficult, right? It be a kind of intermediate. In goal setting theory, the goal acceptance also one of main requirement goal acceptance is employee have to buy into, or otherwise in other words, he should be accept the goal set up by the top managements. That is called goal acceptance. Having people participating in setting goal is good way to increase the acceptance of and the commitment. That means the top-down approach is not goods to goal setting theory. Bottom-up or intermediary approach is one of good way of approach to set up the goal. So therefore, we can come with middle arguments, because normally what happen is the top managements they set in the goal and communicate to the lower level. But here, if we set up the goal in as a top manager, and your junior or your employee, if not accept, what happen is goal setting theory will fail. Therefore, therefore that goal setting theory explain it should be a kind of participatory approach when setting the goal, right? And the feedback is one of most important thing in the goal setting theory. The people get information about how well they are doing progress toward goal achievements, right? On regular basis, ongoing basis, we should find some feedbacks, and self feedback also more stronger than external feedback. That means that the employee self feedback is one of most strongest feedbacks according to the uh, goal setting theory, right? So this is one of process theory. I explain goal setting theory. That means that explain how we should keep goal, and how what is the level of hardiness or the specific and the level of difficulty, and that goal should accepted by the employee to achieve or to motivate. The second theory of process of motivation is equity theory of motivations, right? Equity theory of motivation. So equity theory that is focused on individual perception of how fairly they are treated compared to others, right? Equity theory. So that person in the within the organization psychologically he expect equal treatments, right, with compared to the similar positions uh, in the hierarchy. So, which is called equity theory. That equity theory explains that expectation or perception of the person in the organizations. That Stancy Adams who explained this equity theory. The people are motivated to seek social equity in the reward that they receive for the performance, right? People are motivated to seek social equity. So they are seeking some kind of rewards, but that amount, so the levels of treatment should be equal with compared to the same level. That is why equity theory explaining. People pursues their compensation as equal what other receives for similar contributions, right? Similar contributions. That means that group of people who given similar contributions, they should receive similar compensation, not higher or not lower. According to the equity theory that explain that similar contribution, if someone get higher compensations from the top management, so it will help to demotivate all other people surrounding them. So equity theory explains that treatment should be fair and equitable and evaluate it by input output ratio. Input output ratio. How we evaluate is input output ratio. What input output ratio means? What are the inputs you bring into the organization? Maybe educations, maybe experience, and maybe effort, maybe ability. These are the inputs you bring into the organization. What are the outcomes actually, which are the pays, salaries, recognitions, benefit, and promotions. So that input output ratio in the similar level should be equal. In one manager, output input ratio should equal to output input ratio, right? Which is explained by uh, equity theory. So, how to reduce perceived inequality? That means, imagine we cannot treat all people equally. Therefore, the other employees and other people, so other managers or similar people within the organization, they will perceive or they will feel that this organization uh, treating me in unequal way. So therefore, how to reduce this? So as a manager, you should know how to reduce this feeling of inequality. So first thing is change work effort. What happened is that in here I'm explaining if one person who feel inequality, what they do is they change work efforts. Person choose to increase or decrease work input to the organizations, right? They change. If underpaid, they will reduce their level of efforts, and what happen is increase absenteeisms. The people, they will increase absenteeisms. They will reduce their inputs, and what is called their what the inputs they given into the organization will reduce. Because of that, the output also, the outcomes change will happen. People may change the outcome. People request salary increase and other benefits. They will ask, which is called what are what are the reactions come from the feeling of inequality. So for reduce this inequality feeling, we can change the perception, right? People can change the perception, or sometime what happens, they will leave the jobs, right? They will leave the jobs. Imagine if I feel I am treated in an equal way, so what things is I must leave the company. That feeling will come, and the new after they got new jobs, they will expect the balance rewarding system. Which if first thing they will change their perception. People change their perception on equity, right? If they are unable to change input output ratio, what they change perception, or they leave the jobs, or what they do is they after go there they will expect what is called equal treatment from others. The third theory is expectancy theory. The expectancy theory of process, which is suggests that motivations depends on individual expectations about to their performance, tasks, and received desired rewards. Right. So that expectancy theory explain. Right. They explain that expectations are individualistic, right? It's not normal. It is individual, depend on the individuals, and the concern with identify individual type of needs, but it is thinking process and individual use to achieve the reward. So therefore, what is called effort and the performance and outcomes. So these some elements of the expectancy theory. There is some people who make efforts to performance. So what happen is the expectancy profitability that effort will lead to desired performance, right? Desired performance it will generate. What happens? Performance to outcome. Expectancy on profitability that perform will produce desired outcomes. So outcome means that pay, recognitions, and other rewards. There are some few. Right, what happen is what is called effort to performance, right? Effort to performance in expectancy is happening in determine whether putting effort into tasks will be lead to high performance, and at that level expectancy is very high and the ability is very high, and he has a previous experience and necessary equipments and tools are there and opportunity to perform, right? This is called E to P expectancy, right? In here, E to P expectancy. And O to P expectancy, or this one, O to P to O expectancy, performance to outcome. What happen is that expectancy is successful performance will lead to desired outcome or rewards. So P to O expectancy is very high. They are individually highly motivated, and it is not desired outcome. Sometimes motivation may be less, right? Motivation may be less, right? These are the few theories which are explain the process, right? Which are explain the process of perspective, how the motivation process is happening on its goal setting, right? Then in goal setting theory, the goal we discuss about the how goal should be and the specificity of the goal and the difficulty of the goal, and the goal must accepted by the employee or junior. And the equity theory is also explaining that the people like waiting for equal treatment from the top managements the based on input output ratio, right? This is how we should reduce inequality. And then we go to expectancy theory, right? Expectancy theory. So that means that theory explain people are what is called the people motivations are individualistic. The individual expectations are vary person to person. So we have to identify what are the individual motivations and motives, and we have to treat based on that. In their effort and performance expectancies are there, and the performance to output expectancies are there. Effort to performance is actually this expectancy is very high. We perform high ability, right? Previous experience and necessary tool and like that. And the performance to outcome, that expectancy is also like that they successfully perform, but it will lead to desired outcome, maybe rewards, right? Performance to outcome. So please write down this new few theories are there, which is called theory X, theory Y, and theory Z are there. So theory X and Y or theory Z are there. So you can select X and Y theory and write down one page descriptions about the X and Y theory, how we can use to motivate our employees, right? Keep this note. Uh, find the theory X and Y theory. There is a called X and Y theory, and write one page note how we can use X and Y theories to influence or motivates the employee, right? It is my assignment. I'm presenting to you, right? Student, you have to write one page concept note, actually note how we can use X and Y theory to motivate your. First you give one paragraph, you give what is X and Y theory, and then another paragraph you write how we can use it and how we can implement, like that. Okay, did you get that my point? Hello? කට්ටිය අහගෙන දින්නේ? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the assignment. Okay, when you can submit it? Within 1 week?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, it's a not big work. You just go to Google and don't copy and paste and send me. You write something about X and Y theory, because this assignment is located 10 marks for your exam, X and Y theory. Right, then shall we have 5 minutes break, and because other half an hour I want to discuss with you. So just take 5 or 10 minutes break, and then we can discuss what are the other important factors about motivations, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we don't have much time to wait here, because around half an hour we can stop. Less than half an hour. Right, up to now, actually we discuss about wait. Now we discuss about what is motivation, right? Concept of motivation and how that process is going on, and the main 4 categories: extrinsic positive, extrinsic negative, intrinsic positive, and intrinsic negative. And the content theories we discuss, right? Emphasis on the characteristic. Therefore, the content theories we discuss about 3 content theories: Maslow theory, and Maslow theory, there are main 5 levels: physiological, safety needs, love and belongingness, esteem and self-actualization, Maslow theory, and these are that needs. After that, we go for simplified versions of Maslow theory, which is called ERG theory. ERG theory explain that as Maslow explained, it is not happening according to the ERG. He says that all needs must motivate simultaneously, not step by step. So ERG theory, therefore, they categorize into 3 needs: existent needs, related needs, and growth needs. These are the difference between the Maslow and the ERG theory. ERG theory says the person who's difficult to satisfy that higher level, he will consider about the he will seek in about the lower level of need. This is one of interesting things in ERG theory. So Herzberg's explaining, is also American psychologist. He says the money is not factors of motivation always. So non-financial factors also there. According to him, there are 2 factors. One is motivators and hygienic factors. So these are the motivating factors, and these are the hygienic factors, right? Then we come to the process theories that explain how behaviors actually happening. In the process theories, we call about the goal setting theory, equity theory, and expectancy theory. Goal setting theories is explaining how goal should define and goal specific and the goal difficulty and goal must accept by the junior. Which, therefore, we should come with participatory way for goal setting. And the equity theory explain how individual person the perception of individual relating to their treatments. So therefore, they expect equal treatments, uh, equal treatments for the equal input output ratio, right? So these are the inputs, these are the outputs. So if we go for unequal treatments, they will perceive and they will reduce. They will change their working behavior. They will change their inputs given to the organization, right? So otherwise, the absenteeisms will increase, right? Even further happen in inequality. What happens? They will try to change their perception, or they will leave the jobs, and the new jobs they will seek for that balance. And the expectancy theory also, one of process theory, they said that suggests that the motivations depends on the individuals, right? So these are the effort to performance expectancy and the performance to uh, outcome expectancy. So this happens like this. These are the main few theories regarding how motivations process happen. And the assignment for this group is to find out X and Y theory and write one page note regarding X and Y theory, how to use X and Y theory for motivate the employees. Right. Then balance is actually a reinforcement perspective on motivations. Right. Reinforcement theories, they simply look at the relationship between behavior and the consequence. So they in reinforcement theories, they try to explain what are the relationship between this behavior and the consequences, right? It is focused on changing or modifying employees on the job's behavior through the appropriate use of immediate rewards or punishments. That may be rewards or that may be punishment. So the reinforcement theory, they explain there's a relationship. So they try to identify the if person give higher out inputs to the company, they try to find out why is this, right? They try to find out the relationship between this behavior and the consequence. If it is positive, they go for immediate rewards. If it is negative, the punishment. So punishment mean not always as we can't go physical punishments. So maybe demotivations, salary cut. So whatever the things we can consider as a punishment. So these are the reinforcement. So there are few way of reinforcements in motivations. One is direct reinforcement. So otherwise we call this behavior modification. So we modify the human behavior, right? So here we assume the law of effects. So law of effects, that means the effect is with some reasons or relationships. That's why they're going for what is called a change or modify the behavior. So behavior that is positively reinforced tend to be repeats, and behavior that is not reinforced tend to not to be repeats. So that's mean simple things. So if it is some kind of positive things, so we try to repeat it. If it is give negative impacts, right, into trends, so it should not be repeated, right? The reinforcement is defined anything that can cause certain behavior to be repeat or inhibited, right? Direct reinforcement. So there are a few models, positive reinforcements. Normally, administrations of the presence and rewarding consequence, they help to go for the desired behavior. Normally, the price for the employee who arrive on time and little extra, right? And the positive reinforcement help to motivate desired behavior. And non-financial reinforcements, like we can say thank you and positive feedbacks, some recognitions and attentions. These are the few non-financial feedbacks. So what is called reinforcement. So financially, also we can give some little extra to motivate them for uh, whatever the things who do repeatedly do. And another one is avoidance of learnings, right? Removal of unpleasant consequence once uh, one behavior is improved, right? Negative reinforcement. What happens is avoid undesired results that behavior provoke, stops up bad activity, and then continues. It is called avoidance learning. Right? Some people's they will not learn, so they avoid uh, of learning. So therefore, that's explained avoidance learning. And the punishments, the unpleasant outcome of the employees. If there is unpleasant outcome employee, therefore there should have some kind of punishment. So that punishment means, even I explained earlier, it's not physical things. So maybe salary cut, promotions cut, some yeah, whatever things we can do in proper way. Punishment typically occur following undesirable behavior, right? If there is some kind of undesirable behavior, therefore there should have some kind of punishment. Employees for the performance tracked incorrectly, right? Manager want to reduce the reoccurrence of these behaviors, and the employee suspension and the firing that can be done. So they want to do some kind of behavior, maintain something within the organization, that even employee who is not like to follow the guidelines, what they do is they want to take into the correct track using punishments. But if they don't follow again, if it is happening reoccurrence, right? Reoccurrence happening. So what we have to do is we have to suspend the labor for the fires. And extension is withholding of positive rewards, whereas with the punishment. So that is called is in between way. We withholding the positive rewards, and whereas with the punishment, the supervisor impose unpleasant outcome such as repairments and the extension involved. And there are other theories also called social learning theory. Social learning theory is also kind of reinforcement positively individuals. They individual motivation, not direct experience for rewards or punishments, right? The observations, other people's behavior. What we do is social learning theory. They explain sometimes that behavior is not due to direct reasons, direct individual internal reasons, maybe due to some other factor. So they will give sometimes to learn. As a in positive social learning theory, one example is put here in school. Well-behaved children get more attention from the teacher. Right? It's a positive social learning theory. So because of this attention, that the student again and again try to behave positively. And same time, the negatively also that social learning can happen because of that negative attention from someone. So same behavior can further intensify, which is called social learning theory. And how a manager can enhance individuals' motivations. These are the few last slides. How manager, this is one of most important as you as a manager, so how we can enhance individuals' motivations. First thing is we have to observe desirable behaviors and accurately pursues behavior, and remember the behaviors, right? Remembers the behaviors and necessary skill to perform the behavior, and see the behavior rewards by the organization, which are the 5 steps. First thing, what you have to do is have to identify this kind of desirable behaviors are there, right? And accurately we have to pursue which these behaviors impact on the performance of the organizational goal in this level, right? We have to record it, keep it remembered. And if further we need some kind of necessary skill to perform this behavior, we have to help him to generate or give that new skill. And at the end, what we have to do, the reward should be given. Right. The next thing is how we design jobs for motivations, right? As a manager, we have to design jobs to motivate the employees or the person who doing the job. Normally, job is and the organizational unit which work as a single employee is responsible for performing, right? So what is the single employee's responsibility, which is called jobs, right? So job enrichment is, which means the incorporating high-level motivators into work, including responsibility recognitions, opportunities for growth, learning, and achievements, which is called job enrichment. With these are the things, while when we design the jobs, you have to consider job enrichments, right? So how the responsibility including, how recognition includes, right? How the opportunities includes there, what are the learning opportunities and achievements. And when you design the job, so you have to think how to enrich the jobs, right? Employee have to control over the resources necessary for the performance task, right? This you should give some control of resources for who performs the task, and decision making, make decision on how to do that work, and experience and personal growth, then set their own workplace. And people also typically feel greater sense in involvement, committed in motivation. Normally, the people are very, they expect some kind of responsibility, recognitions, and the opportunity for growth. Therefore, as managers and top level people in the organization, we should consider this job enrichment and job enriching job to motivate the employees and people typical which is in normally contribution to higher morale, lower turnover, people will not go or leave the jobs, and strong organizational performance. This is how we use it is called, we design the jobs for motivations. And the job characteristic model, right? We have to think about skill varieties. Normally we know that to perform the jobs, the one person who needs numbers of skills. So within one skill you can't perform he needs numbers of skill, which is called skill variety. You have to consider it is to give skill varieties, and it will motivate to the people, to the jobs, as well as to the organization. If there is that particular employee have limited skills, so the organization should train them, develop them to achieve new skill. And the task identity should be there, actually degree to which an employee performs total jobs with the recognizable beginning and the ending. So job identity, there should have some kind of identity. What is the job he's exact job is performance within the organization, that will generate some motivations, or it will help to motivate the people. If why we are discussing is the imagine lot of companies, lot of areas, lot of jobs, they were not worried about the skill variety, they were not worried about the task identity, right? They were given some of few tasks and let them to work, so they were not worried about the motivations. And the task significance, the task should be significant, actually degree to which the job is perceived as important and having impact the company or consumer. So okay, that person should be feel kind of significance. Okay, if it is not I'm not there, so it will be give this kind of results, right? That kind of feeling we have to generate within the employee. So therefore, task significant we have to create. And the autonomy means degree to which worker has freedoms and the directions and self-determination in planning and carrying tasks, right? So we should give that employees to plans and freedom we should give to the employee to to what we want to do to achieve the company goal, right? Which is called autonomy. What happens is everywhere, every time, so the top managers will come to decision making and they will direct. They will direct, and individual employees we will not give autonomy. So therefore, having autonomy is one of very basic needs to make employees to satisfy. And the fifth one is feedback, extent to which doing the job provide feedback to the employees about the performance. So these are the job characteristic model, or otherwise core job dimensions, right? The key things you have to consider when you're performing or when you are managing the employees: skill variety, and the task identity, the task significance and autonomy, and feedback. So these five characters of the jobs will help to motivate uh, employees to the organization. Now they will not leave the job. And this also in the job in the organization, actually we discussed in previous slides. So with that we can conclude. So please learn something more about social learn theory. So these are the end of the today lecture. So again I will make quick summary for your easy to understand in motivations. So our today lectures and what is motivations and the process, and the four categories of motivations and the content theories. We discuss Maslow and ERG and the two factors as content theories, right? Then we go for process theory, goal setting theory, and equity theory, and expectancy theory. So these are the processes theories, and we give assignments for you to study about X and Y theory. And we go for how reinforced, right? How we go forward to the motivation. So which is for reinforcement theory, right? We got direct reinforcements, we change behaviors. There are a few models, right? And avoidance, then avoidance, and the punishments, and the restrictions. And the social learning theory, you have to learn more, and how manager can motivates the employees to their organization, to the jobs. So therefore we can design their jobs to motivate, right? Job enrichment. So how we can use the job enrichments to motivate them, and how we can add these characteristics into their job: skill variety, task identities, task significant, autonomy, and feedback to motivate them. Right. With that, I can conclude today's sessions. So if you have any clarifications, you can ask. If not, I can conclude today's sessions. And other things I want from your side is I have missed one lecture in previous weeks, I think 2-3 weeks back. So therefore, give me some dates to meet you. After that lecture, we can finish all 15 lectures on agricultural leaderships, and then you can ready for the exam. All right, this is the thing I want to share with you, and one lecture remaining, so you can be free time in